Let's see if I'll flame you or not. You said, I watched your Dispatch playthrough, it was really good, but why are you so prudish for the sexual scenes? All those characters act like most people act. No, they don't. They're characters. But you thought it was raunchy, which it was not at all. They were sexual scenes? What do you mean? They were sex scenes, but not really. They were sex scenes. Also, I think you maybe don't know what content is. If you take every reaction that I have to something on stream and you think that I am like genuinely made uncomfortable by a game because I keep yelling HR or something like that, I think you don't get content. Man, it's a bit, it's a joke. It's definitely mixed with me being like, oh, I'm not into either of these characters, so I'm not really picking the romance options for them to see if I can like, if there is a route where you don't pick one. But yeah, you know, maybe don't think so hard and just enjoy the stream. I think also, you know, there's nothing wrong with expressing if you like a character or you think like a character is attractive or like the personality is attractive or whatever. But if I like something, I'll just be like, ooh. And you're not really going to get like a lot more. It doesn't mean that I like hate all things like that I think romance is evil or sex scenes are evil or something. You're just not going to get that out of me because I just don't act like that in public. And I think we watch a lot of streamers that like love to ham that stuff up for content because it is funny to watch. And I think we get used to that and think that like everyone does that. Yeah, right. Like they literally start barking on stream and stuff, which is also a bit. They don't literally do that like outside of stream. They're doing it for content, you know what I mean? So, but people only complain when you do the other way. They don't complain when you like act more sexual. I don't know if you guys have noticed that, but I have. That's prudish. I hate to think what they mean when they actually see prudes. Yeah, no, if I was actually bothered by it, I would have closed the game, you know? Or like if I actually hated the game, I wouldn't play it again. I wouldn't be like, oh my God, day 2, let's finish the game, you know? So yeah, don't take everything so seriously as the TLDR. It's all just chilling, hanging out. Right, Lucky? He sat through most of it. He slept through all of it. Yeah, I'm going for the chastity run. Because honestly, I know most people are going to pick one of the romance options. And I'm genuinely like not really into the options, the characters. So I really want to know if it's possible to like have him just be like, no, you know, I'm a man and the only thing I think about is war. I do not think about such things. You're right. I'm a manly man who only thinks about my goals. I'm going to see if we can play him like that. I don't know. I just don't like the way the two characters are written because the way they write both of them, they both push boundaries to a horrific degree to the point where if that were like real life, which obviously it's not, it's game writing, but if that were real life, I would be horrifically uncomfortable with either of those people if they were doing anything that they're doing to like me, a real person, right? So it makes me like really not like the characters because I'm like, there's nothing wrong with how they are at their core, but the way they just absolutely push themselves on you is like, I don't mind that like Invisigal's a terrible person. You know, the other lady's like she's very like textbook, you know, white woman news reporter kind of vibe. Like, I don't really care about that. It's more like the way they just absolutely thrust themselves upon the main character and hugely push boundaries makes me like, no thanks. Because I don't know about you, but if someone tries to do that IRL, I would react negatively, you know? Malevola all the way. You see, I like Malevola. They don't have a lot of scenes with her, but she's like super attractive, great voice kind of character. And her personality is that, but she doesn't push herself on anyone. She's just existing. So if she was an option, I'd probably go for that one because she's not doing that to our poor main character, you know? You'd be flattered by the attention. I think a good number of people would, but I think that's how a lot of people get into bad situations. There's someone who like comes onto them really strongly and like the attention feels really good, but then they have a bad experience. Then looking back, they're like, oh, that person really got me like swept up in a bunch of shit. Had I not found them attractive, probably wouldn't have been comfortable with, you know? There's a lot of that happening in real life. Especially a lot of my dude friends that maybe don't get as much like positive female attention. I find that they're very susceptible to that, which stinks. They did it ASAP too, not even a moment being chill. Yeah, though, I mean, the writing is paced really quickly because the game isn't long, so I get that, but they don't even start with them being like not interested. They're like saying sexual things or romantic things within the first like 3 minutes of you meeting them, you know? So I wish it showed more progression instead of it being like out the gate they're like that, you know? If it felt more progressed over time, like at least wait an episode, you know, then I would feel less like they were pushing boundaries. You know, you don't understand how hard it is for dudes to get attention. You're right. I don't know. I don't have brothers or male friends. I don't get it. I've never seen it. I don't understand. I think you're saying like a figure of speech. Don't flame him, Chad. He's just saying like a figure of speech. No, I've seen it so much, man. And like, I try to not get too involved when I have a friend who's like into someone that I think isn't good for them. I'll say my piece very briefly. Like if they ask, they go like, oh yeah, I've been talking to this girl. What do you think of her? I'll be like, 3 sentences of what I think. And then I leave it. And I'm like, it's your choice though. If you want more, you can ask, but I'm not gonna, I try to not push friends too much in either direction, but it's hard to watch. When you know this person is love bombing in them and they're just accepting it because they're like, I've never been love bombed before, but that person's really bad for them. It's just, oof. You had to help a friend out of a really bad relationship. It's rough. It's tough too because like, you don't know what's between them and that person a lot of the time. So there's a lot of detail that they're not going to tell you. You can never get like a full picture. And people feel how they feel, like you can't. There are very few people that can act against their own strong feelings. Even if they know logically that someone's bad for them, there are a lot of people that will still they'll get at least a little, have some moments of weakness, like something. It's hard for people to like push against themselves when they know something's not good for them. So that's tough. That's tough. Honestly, the best thing you can do is just hang out with that person a lot. You give a lot of your time to them, which not everyone has to do, You still remember the dentist who said your eyes are pretty 15 years ago? That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. That's how significant this shit is, right? It's so significant.